Ciao Bella, I'm Barbara Ann Zippi, your host today for Ciao Bella Living Italian Style, and my special guests are a really special orchestra here in the Delaware Valley. It's the Munier Mandolin and Guitar Orchestra. 4 of the 20 members came out with us today to entertain you later in the program, but first we're going to talk to founding member Elaine Peden. And Elaine, it's wonderful to have you here with us.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, actually, you're one of those founding members, and there are only 2 of you?
Yes, Vincent Verano and me.
And how old is Vince, your other founding member?
Well, I'm 86, and I think he's a few years older.
I think he's 97. We have this picture up on the screen.
I didn't think he was that old.
I think he is. Is he that old, guys? Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. So, Elaine, how did you get involved with the Mandolin Society?
Well, my father, when I was a child, he loved the mandolin, and he was a Cossack in the Ukrainian army, and he was a tenor. And when he came to the United States, and when I was a little girl, he wanted me to play the mandolin, but only Ukrainian music.
Oh, my goodness.
And so he taught me to play by ear because he sang to me. And didn't like it and put it away. And as I grew older, I wanted to surprise him because he was so disappointed, and joined the Munier.
Now, Elaine, you still play today as part of the orchestra, right? And I know that we don't normally say our ages, but you seem very proud of it. And
I am very proud.
Share with our listeners how old you're still playing?
86.
86.
Last week.
I just think it's wonderful that you've joined us here today. Now, the Mandolin Society, the Mandolin Orchestra, you can use anybody from 4 pieces to 20 pieces.
Yeah. Even 2 pieces.
Even 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly makes a party. Now, the Italian roots. Italians seem to resonate with the mandolin so well. They fall back to Sorrento. You have a lot of those on your CD.
Yes.
O Sole Mio is on here. And these are available. Mark, how can they get
Yes. Viewers can purchase a CD by visiting our website, which I believe is listed, www.munierorchestra.org.
Yes.
And we can get one out to you. Yeah.
Now, the orchestra is available for private parties, corporate functions. What's happening?
Yes, exactly. So we're a nonprofit organization established in 1957, and we're available, as you said, from duos up to the full group, which is 20 members. Duo prices starting in the around $250, and for the full orchestra,
they can add another zero.
Add another zero
for 20 people. They can add another zero.
Right.
Mark,
and we also, I will mention, we also have special rates for nonprofit organizations as well.
Good to know. And festivals. It's a big
we
season
do
for
cultural
Italian
festivals, Italian festivos. Yes.
Great. Now, can you introduce us to your members that are with you today?
Yeah. From my left, Dave Betts, who is a mandocellist. Could you just play a few notes on the mandocello? The mandolin is actually tuned like a violin. It's like a plucked version of the violin.
Yours. Can you play
it? So there are parallels to each of in the mandolin family to each of the members of the string family. So that's the parallel of the cello. There's actually a mando bass, which you have to stand up to play. And then mandolin, we have 2 different versions of mandolin. And then there's also a mandola, which is the parallel of the viola.
Okay. And then how does our trusty old guitar fit into this whole system?
Well, it's the underpinning for it. We usually get to play.
An interesting array. Now, Mark, what is your position with the orchestra?
I'm the musical director and conductor. And Charlie is our president.
Of the board of directors?
Board of directors.
Yes.
So then you have to keep them all in order and make sure the budgets all get met.
It's
expensive.
Not hard.
It's not hard?
No, it's not an unruly group.
Well, that's really good. And Elaine, you're going to be part of the orchestra playing at many of the upcoming events that are around town.
Yes.
And you know, to keep the vision and to keep all these guys in order, what was your original profession? Will you share what you did for how you raised your boys?
I was a tavern owner.
A tavern owner. So you were always around food, drink, and music.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any words of advice for young people looking to get into?
To play an instrument. If you have, if you're depressed or you have a lot of issues, you pick up an instrument and it totally goes away. You're mesmerized by the music, and without music, you lose a lot in life.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to leave our audience with, Elaine. And that is true. Music is the universal language.
It is.
Your bar must have been the cheers of the day.
Yes.
I'll bet you it was. And viewers, when we come back, Elaine and I are going to disappear, and you're going to get treated to two unbelievable songs from the Munier Mandolin and Guitar Orchestra. And don't forget, you can book them for your private function, festival, corporate, or nonprofit, anywhere from $250 to $2,500. That definitely fits in everybody's price range. So I'll leave you gentlemen to entertain us.
Thank you.
Ciao Bella, I'm Barbara Ann Zippi, your host and I'm here today with the Munier Mandolin and Guitar Orchestra, 4 of the 20 members that make up this magnificent group. And one of those members, Dave Betts, is here playing the mandocello. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Now, Dave, you have a mandocello, a little different than a mandolin?
Yeah, it's just, it's bigger than a mandolin. It's an octave and a fifth below, and like we tell everybody, it's what happens when you leave a mandolin on the vine too long.
Oh my goodness. Now, I know we have a local Philadelphia society, but you are actually hold a position with a national group.
Yes, I'm currently serving as a secretary for the Classical Mandolin Society of America. It's an umbrella group for all the 60-plus orchestras in North America.
Now, what's interesting is the mandolin kind of lost a little bit of its flavor as the generations have come along, but you said in today's culture, you told me a country that loves mandolin.
Well, we have, like I say, 60-plus orchestras here in the United States, and then in Germany they have what they call Zupf orchestras. It's German for mandolin or stringed orchestras. They have some 300-400, and then in Japan they're crazy for them. They have several thousand.
Well, maybe we could start a movement here, Mark. And you're the you're the musical director
Right.
and conductor for the orchestra here in the Delaware Valley. What area are your group from?
So we're based in South Philly. The group was founded in 1957. There was a time when the mandolin was just as popular in the U.S. as it has been in Japan for over 100 years. The early 20th century, there were mandolin orchestras everywhere. A couple factors: the immigrants from Southern Europe, from Italy and Eastern Europe. There were a lot of people playing mandolins, and also the Gibson Company, which made this instrument and made that instrument, did a very successful campaign to market instruments and music, and they actually provided seed money to begin these orchestras. So there were a couple orchestras in Philly that hung on. Most of those orchestras died out in the 20s, but 2, one from South Philly and one from Northeast, hung on, and in 1957 they joined together and formed a nonprofit status, and the group has...
And that's what your core group
Yes.
is today. And that's what produced this CD here.
Yes,
Okay.
and yeah, that's our 4th. During our first 20 years of the group, there were 3 LPs, vinyl LPs, if anybody out there remembers vinyl. And
it's coming back.
It's coming
Coming
back, right? So yes, that's our CD, and I'll just mention the cover art on that is done by one of our members who's a professional artist and an ex-jockey, and anyway, it's his fine art that we have there.
Well, the music is just beautiful, and if you close your eyes, you could be on a hillside in Italy, which is another thing to ask you about the culture. The Italians seem to have embraced the mandolins.
Yeah. The mandolin developed in Italy about 400 years ago. It was developed from the lute. The larger instrument has a bowl back. The Italian instruments, the European instruments have bowl backs. The American instruments, the Gibsons, have a flat back. But yeah, it's been a part of Italian culture for a long time, both sort of folk culture and dance music, which we're going to play some of that, but also classical music as well. There's a lot of serious classical repertoire that has been written for the mandolin, and that's one of the functions of our orchestra, is to really keep that somewhat obscure music alive.
And that really is, because without that we would lose the tradition, which brings me to the point that you guys are available from a group of 2, a duo of 2, to a group of 20 in your full orchestra.
Absolutely.
You play non-profit work, private affairs, and all different, that they can get in touch with you through
Absolutely.
your website, right?
Absolutely.
Well, how about if we stop chatting for a few minutes and treat them to a song and down, and we're going to let our audience close their eyes and imagine they're on a hillside in Italy. our first audience. That was wonderful. This, I have to tell you, is the hillside in Abruzzi, there where my grandparents are from, in Loreto. So I've just thought of myself on that mountaintop, ordering a cup of espresso from the little cafe. Okay,
Yeah.
Ciao Bella. And if you want to listen to this beautiful music, you can have your own CD too. It's available online, right, Mark? And if you just want to listen to it at home with a beautiful glass of wine or a nice cup of espresso, or if you want to hear them play at one of your events, check out the website. Ciao Bella,
Ciao,
Living Italian Style. And I hope you'll be back with us again, Mark.